Hey everybody, today I'm Henry's How-Tos. I'm going to show you how to make Christmas buttercream macarons. Let's get straight into it. Alright guys, so the first thing I'm going to do is just into a bowl with a sifter on top, I'm going to add in 1 cup of almond flour. And next to this we'll add 2 cups of icing sugar. And all we're going to do is sift this. Now the reason for this is we want a nice fine consistency. We don't want any lumps because that's going to ruin it. Alright, and as you can see we were left over with these lumps and we've got a nice fine consistency. So don't force these through, just discard it. So next, just into a bowl, we're going to crack in 3 egg whites. And be careful just to get the whites. We don't want any of the yolk. To our egg whites we're just going to add a small pinch of salt. This helps stabilize the egg whites. Now apart from that, the only other ingredients we'll need at this point is a 1/4 cup of white sugar. We're going to gradually add this in as we get soft peaks. And of course the other ingredients we need is food colouring. In my case, I'm just using green and red. So all we're going to do is with our hand mixer, beat this on a high speed. Once we start to get soft peaks, gradually add the sugar in, right up until we get stiff peaks. So at this point we'll start adding the sugar in, just a tablespoon at a time. So guys, when you start to get stiff peaks like this, and it gets shiny and you can feel a bit of tension in your beater, that's when you know it's ready. So we'll turn the beater off, and by picking up our mixture, it should stay on the beater just like that. It shouldn't fall. So that's a good sign. So we'll take that off because we don't want to waste it. So what we're going to do now is gradually add in our almond flour and icing sugar mixture. Now don't add it all at once. I'm just going to add about a 1/4 cup at a time. If you add it all at once, what it's going to do is deflate it. And we definitely don't want to do that. So just carefully fold it through. And take your time. This is where you need to put the love in. Alright, so that's looking really good. So we'll add more in. So just another 1/4 cup. Alright, so at this point we're going to add our colouring in. Now you got 2 ways, or you got any way of doing this actually, it's up to you. You can separate the mixture and do a red and a green for example. But what I'm going to do is add them both in, and we're going to sort of swirl it around. So we're just going to add a couple of drops of each. And we don't actually want to combine it, but we just want to mix it through. So guys, that's ready to go now. So we're just going to bring a piping bag with a round nozzle attachment just into a glass, fold that in, and then pull it over. Just to make it easier to fill up. And we're going to add this straight in. But once again, very gently because we don't want to deflate it. Alright, now just onto a baking tray lined with some baking paper, we're going to pipe this on. Now make sure you're holding it straight down, not at an angle. And just push your mixture out like that. Just going to do all the corners first, just to evenly weigh down the paper. Now I'm going to make these just a little bit smaller than the usual size. But you can do whatever size you want. Just obviously try and keep them all the same size. Alright, so the next thing to do at this point is just with a wet finger, you just want to touch the top of each one, just to get rid of that swirl. But it's up to you, you can keep it if you like. Alright, so hard part's done. So now what we need to do is just bang this on a hard surface, just a couple of times, just to get rid of any air bubbles. Leave it at room temperature for around 45 minutes to an hour. Alright guys, so we're at about the 40-minute mark right now. Now, you probably can't see in the camera, but we've got sort of a dry consistency now. So in about 10 minutes time, you should be able to just touch them and nothing will happen. It won't stick to you. So what we're going to do now is start to preheat our oven at around 160 degrees Celsius. And then once we get that dry effect, we'll go ahead and put these straight in. Alright guys, so I'm at the 45-minute mark now. And as you can see, I can just touch the tops. And that's what we want. So provided your oven is preheated, we'll go ahead and put these straight in. And we want to bake them for around 17 to 18 minutes. You should be able to see little platforms start to rise. Alright guys, so I've just taken them out of the oven. As you can see, they're looking very nice. And as you can see, we have that little platform level on them, which is what we want. So we want to let those cool down now. Don't go piping anything into them yet. They need to cool down completely. So we're going to make a very simple buttercream. So what I've got here is 200 grams of just softened butter. To this I'm just going to add about 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. And I've also got 3 cups of soft icing sugar here. We're going to gradually add this in. We don't want to add it all at once. So we'll start by slowly beating this, just to make it smooth, and start slowly adding our icing sugar. Just about a half a cup at a time. So basically we want something that looks like that. So guys, this is ready to use now. Now you got 2 options. You can leave it just a plain vanilla color if you like. But what I'm going to do is half this. I'm going to make half of it green and half of it red. So we're just going to estimate about a half, which is right about that much. And we'll just place this into another container. So we'll make this one a green one. So I'm just going to add about, say, 3 to 4 drops. And we want to try and get a nice dark green color for this. And just on a low speed we'll mix that. Alright, so that's looking good. I'll just use a spatula, scrape the sides as well, mix that through, just so we get the color combined completely. Okay, now we're going to wash our beaters first before we do the red colouring, just so the colours don't mix. So we'll do our red next. So same principle, add a couple of drops. And just mix on a low speed. Alright, so that's looking good. Get that excess off, we don't want to waste it. Alright guys, so once you let them cool down, I'm just going to do half at a time, because we're doing green and red obviously. So what we need to do now, is you want to pick out those that are pretty much the same size, same shape, etc. So as you can see, that's a perfect match there. And then you just want to pair them together. And you just want to do this with all of them. Alright, so I've piped the mixture into my piping bag, just with the same round nozzle. And we're going to get 1/2 of our macarons. And just carefully pipe a layer like that. Don't make it too thick. And push the other side on, and we're just going to sandwich it like that. So we just want to continue doing that. Alright, and now we'll repeat it with the red colour. Just like that. Alright guys, and there we have it. That's how we make Christmas vanilla buttercream macarons. So storage wise, obviously keep them refrigerated. You should be able to get about 2 or 3 days out of this comfortably. Obviously keep them airtight. And variation wise, obviously there's so many different things you can do. I hope you like that, guys. Please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Facebook, Snapchat and Instagram. If you've got any comments or suggestions, just leave them at the bottom, and I'll see you all next time.